I love you, Dre. If you watch this VOD back, just know that's a homie who stayed with me before for a SoCal event, and I think Era might be part of that crew. But nevertheless, here we go. We're gonna get ourselves some Steve and some Me Gunner action.
So like you said, Wi-Fi matchup for sure. This is if you've been on this stream before and watched some coin boxes, first of all, drop an HBox W. Second of all, yeah, you've probably seen a matchup like this every now and then.
Here we go. Era's driving the action, going up top, climbing the ladder there, but just enough for Lammers to get out of dodge. Good DI from the Me Gunner main. Lammers is formerly NorCal, but now currently SoCal PR player, somebody who's given a lot of players up and down Orange County and SoCal quite a lot of fits. OC is kind of developed into quite the powerhouse region in SoCal, where Chase calls home for the most part. They have a number of locals happening, including Contenders on Wednesdays, and a lot of strong players come out of the region, a lot of PR players, a lot of players that can come up. So right now he's just kind of using this array of tools to keep Era at bay. But he falls victim to the minecart. Not quite enough for
look out.
Yeah, not quite enough for Era to immediately make. It's almost like that late minecart hits. I always want to ask Steve Mains about that when the late one hits, not like the initial one, but it's like underneath them, half a mile away.
Yeah.
But speaking of moves that would reach half a mile away, swing, batter, swing, Era taking the first off on a big F smash.
We see, I mean, and you're speaking of like the swing, batter, swing. It's nice to see that we've seen the awareness from Era as well to be able to hit back the down B, the bombs.
Yeah, you have to be careful though, because now the Me Gunners have figured out like they've added to their plans of if they for example the old trick used to be you could get up from ledge and hit the mine, and now they know to sit on that, which is even worse.
Don't make the situation like sometimes you have to acknowledge that your opponent has tools that you don't exactly know how to use all the time.
Speaking of tools right now, Eric was caught in a moment where the Diamond Axe had finally run its course and had disintegrated, and Lamb was able to keep up the pressure, ratchet up, and take that stock. But this is quite a percentage lead here for the OC Me Gunner main to try and make up. Era able to use the burst option, get past him, and back to center stage. And Era's more than consistent to just play the long distance game, because I mean, look at the difference in their situations right now.
Very hugely different. I mean,
all you're doing is forcing a short hop into the Steve mining cycle. That's about it.
And you do have to worry about giving Steve too much time to mine, right, to be able to build up a ton of resources. But also, against Me Gunner, sometimes it's not as big of a deal. And I like that Lammers is kind of committing to that by using the laser blades for the neutral B, but does go down early. Steve kill power is not to be trifled with.
You thought for a second that Lammers were going to survive that.
I certainly did. I most certainly did.
They try to force a landing here, but instead Era doing a good job swinging away, keeping the pressure up high and nice. Oh, wow. No. That was a basket catch.
Instant catch on that high recovery, but Lammers is able to stay down to live with just a pittance of life, but it is enough to give you a fighting shot, even if the Steve does have the diamond built up for the next stock. Tried to go for the crazy clip, but couldn't find it.
I mean, that up air was almost there. I would have gone for it. Nevertheless, Era's going to run headlong into that big missile blast. This gives Lammers a slight chance with the windows drawing to a close. All Era has to do is just not make any big catastrophic mistakes right now.
Yeah, which, against Me Gunner, it is honestly possible. This character can be, quite swingy when it comes to kill power, and where things can come out of nowhere, just like that bomb was almost able to take it, but DI was correct. Hold on a second. Up air's not going to connect. You have to be worried about the anvil. There is one iron remaining. Hold on a second.
Good a chance for Lammers. He just needs to play it perfectly.
No iron.
And that Me Gunner up smash is such a good option, too. He's pocketing it for when Era's going to drop shield.
You got to be very worried about those shield pokes, and Era doing everything in his power just to build up that iron, because, yeah, that minecart can be a very safe way to end it, particularly when it's powered. Are we going all the way down? Yes. But... Oh. And does connect it. Even Era, I think, wasn't entirely sure who got that stock.
And Lammers just in disbelief. He tried so hard to bring that one back from the brink, but unfortunate there for the Me Gunner main. still a lot to build on, because sometimes, I mean, yeah, it can be a real gut punch to lose a close one like that. Except in that circumstance, Lammers really brought that back. He started that last stock of Era's at like 129 and almost pried it out of his hands.
That's going to get Era to start worrying a little bit, I think, right? You got to start kind of being aware of how that last game started slipping away a little bit, because if you're not thinking about that, suddenly you're going to start running into a lot of those traps, particularly if Lammers is able to get off to an early lead.
Here we go. Town City is the venue for this one. Maybe Lammers thinking that the platform layout might give him a few more opportunities to play his game. Dash attack cooking up some damage here. Mine out deep. And this array of projectiles doing volume for Lammers, but here goes Era with one reversal. Uh-oh. Step up, stepping up. The minecart out deep, fair out deep, but of course,
Held the jump,
and Meteor has a crazy recovery tool that I've seen players like Pineda from Mexico use in really innovative movement ways as well.
Mm-hmm.
You often see Lammers like kind of scoot away in order to like give himself a little bit more distance with it as well. But here we go. Era just going back to the reset, put up some walls, put up his defenses, making Lammers have to commit, have to get in, have to force the issue, using the mine to do so.
One of the things that you have to be worried about, playing on a stage like this on either Town and City or on Smashville is that you're going to be mining with your axe, which will mean that your anti-airs can be like a little bit less reliable. Sometimes that axe will just go away if you're swinging with it a little bit too much. But it does mean that your pickaxe is going to be more widely available, and I do think that that'll actually benefit Era pretty nicely, honestly, because we saw that pickaxe run out pretty early in that last game, in the game one. I think having a lot of access to that, especially against me Gunner, where that air-to-air ability is so important, could definitely help out Era. But first, the question is, are you going to land? The answer is apparently yes.
I mean, come on, I gotta ask you, is it October yet? Is it Halloween? Because this monster movie is not coming to an end for Lammers. Era took a back air to the face, took an exploding bomb right in his vicinity, and this Steve still keeps surviving.
If Jack Black does the same, like...
What, Jack Black's immortal now?
Unfortunately. Ooh, bomb, but with those tall Town and City blast zones, not enough to take that stock just yet. Like you said, Era, like the slasher movie villain, just not going down. I mean, that'll do it.
Finally, because Lammers have been looking to cook with that up smash a couple of times both in Game 1 and Game 2. Era pulled up the shield just early enough to ward it away beforehand, but not quite there.
A couple of iron, though, getting used on those blocks, which is very unfortunate for Era, honestly, because you want to be having as much access as possible to that for your mine carts, and you don't get the most iron here on the wood stages. You got to work a little bit harder to get them.
I think Lammers actually got foiled by the recoil from Era being knocked off the block or taken off the block. He was so short, he didn't feel like he could confidently continue the advantage state pressure, and it gave Era just enough time to shield. But here we go.
Nice coverage on the roll away.
Yeah, the DIY Arsene out in full force for Era.
I guess it very much is do it yourself, huh?
Oh, totally.
I'll make my own Arsene. Ooh, get up right into the bomb. Nice impression of Minecraft Steve there, early beta Steve.
And Era's doing a really good job of slipping past the most punishable options.
Whoa!
For a second there, I was like, is that Samus up smash for a second? I know it's modeled after it. I thought maybe it just didn't work.
I guess it... Did it trade with the other hit of down
yeah,
smash, I think?
I think it did.
That looks so silly. This is Yoop?
But nevertheless, Lammer is able to keep his composure and fire again. And look at this, just fire everywhere with all these blasts coming through, the explosions coming through. Big nair from Lammers, but stuffed out again. Lammers hasn't been able to work the up air much in this set at all either, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, which it has to be used very sparingly, or at least very carefully against Steve, especially if the down airs are available, right? You have to be very careful about getting hit by that anvil. Powered rails coming in. Hold on a second. This is an opportunity for Era to get back into this game, especially with diamond tools available, but nice call out on that back air right there. Lammers escaping a very potentially scary situation, even starting up some advantage by putting the Steve into the corner.
Keep warding him away again, but there we go. Lammers putting the finishing touches on game 2 to draw us even at 1-all.
Nice to see one of those moves work for a change. I know it's relatively consistent with me, Gunner, but
It's totally relatively consistent with me, Gunner. We do not need to give it to me, Gunner. But
seems
still,
like a rather good move.
Fairly good move. Nevertheless, Lammers definitely earned that one, able to force Era to play his game, able to get a lot of his tools. Though, try as Era might to really mitigate a lot of the more painful ones, the up airs, the up smash as well. Still finally find himself victimized just enough by Lammers to be a big difference. But we'll see if a change in venue allows Era to claw back the advantage in this set. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Right.
Just stretching.
Yeah.
Stand it up.
Yo, seriously, everybody out there, if you are not stretching while watching the stream, take a moment.
Stretch,
Get up
hydrate,
and stretch.
enjoy yourself.
Oh, that's right. We're all T-posing now. Let's go.
Get settled in. We could have another 3 games ahead of us as we get to the midpoint of the set coming up. These players are deliberating over their stage. Finally land on Hollow Bastion.
Players of this caliber, 100% are going to try their best.
We will see. So, yeah, Hollow Bastion for our game number 3. So this is an interesting stage from a Steve Resources perspective, because I was mentioning it earlier with Town and City and Smashville, right, that he'll mine with the axe. There's a different pool of materials that you'll pull from when you're mining off of what is considered a wood stage. Hollow Bastion actually has 2 separate materials that you can be mining. If you mine anywhere on that gold section of the stage or on that top center platform, that is considered a sort of like an iron resource gain area. And then all of the rest of the stage, that's all stone. So those are actually 2 separate branches of resource paths that you can be mining off of. And if you're really smart about it, you can actually be extremely efficient with how you get like 2 diamonds at the same time, right? But yeah, especially, hey, if you're looking for iron, you want to fight for center stage to be able to kind of sit underneath that platform, mine those gold bits, and actually get more iron in your inventory. And if you're just trying to build up some walls, go to the corner, grab some stone like we're seeing right now.
And the trade-off is you give the explicitly zoner designed character a stage model, which we've started to increasingly see has started to benefit the zoners in the game as the metagame has been pushed by these characters and by their specialists. Back in the day, the monoplat single stage setup, in particular Smashville with its frozen plat, was considered like very strong handy counter pick for CQC characters, for characters that wanted to scrap. But
that's because the stage is small.
Yeah, it is. And obviously Hollow Bastion's a larger stage, but we're definitely starting to come to see that this stage is definitely starting to favor not just the grappler characters, but there's no stage left for Lammers on that one as Era takes the lead, the commanding lead here in Game 1.
This is how it goes sometimes with Steve, right? Is that things will start off very slow. You don't know who's really got the advantage. And then you look down at the resources and you go, oh my goodness!
Yeah, he's loaded. Nevertheless,
double dip with that forward air, 92% built up immediately. Just Steve with diamond tools. The damage comes naturally to him.
The damage and the knockback in order to do silly stuff like that. Just getting hit twice like that. It's like, oh, what did I do to you? I thought this wasn't personal.
Those down Bs, those bombs going over the wall felt very personal. That was... It's like, okay, you want to sit back there and mine, but you're going to have to deal with this first.
Lammers trying to send a message here. Nevertheless, unfortunately, unable to do anything about that anvil drop. Gets a chance to land on stage and resume throwing, flinging all of his zoning tools. And, taints another minecart to the mush.
Powered rail, very, very important. Now look, now see how high the wall gets built because you don't want to deal with the bombs getting launched over it. Just please give me time to mine. And honestly, does work out for Era. Now has an extra diamond available for that next stock. Look at the SDI on that forward air as well. But still, Lammer's taking a beating right now.
Era just extending this lead further and further away. Hopscotch over the options here. Warding away, catching the...
God, that's too many blocks!
That was a hard path for Lammers to navigate, but he does get it back to stage, and he makes Era pay. This is an interesting turn of events. Lammers had a chance to take Game 1 that was in similar circumstances. This is a lot better mode for him in order to try to make this comeback happen. But not when he's eating more minecarts to the face at the moment.
Yeah, hard to react to, but you got to be able to train yourself to do it. You can't you kind of got to be a little bit choosy with where you're throwing out projectiles, and Gunner doesn't always have to feel that way, but you do have to earn it. Is able to get back with the Elytra, able to do it again, bombs in the way, so finally the minecart comes out. Plenty of resources to work with, both in terms of gold and iron. And now another diamond just in case it's needed. Likely won't be, but Era does need to finish this stock soon, or else he might be facing down the barrel of being down 2-1.
And the question for Lammers, though, that he's trying to answer is, can he capitalize off of any of these stray hits? Because the minute that Steve's recoiling disadvantage, he knows he's one reversal away from losing it all in year 2.
Big tech situation's not coming out. Era is able to get the hit nonetheless. 118 means a back air anywhere other than like across the stage will put Lammers in a dangerous spot, and does almost find it, but up smash, and Era aside himself dropping that game. Lammers able to go up 2-1. Seemed like it was all in Era's hands, but the comeback was real.
The slimmest of margins, that pickaxe F-tilt swipe missing, and Lammers taking an inch and going a mile, put himself in peak position to advance to, I believe it's the top 16 loser side at this point. But just crazy turn of events there.
Big comeback from Lammers. Like you said, can't count him out, right? Even though Era had all the resources built up, seemed like that was the big advantage there. No, sir. Lammers definitely sticking it close.
And Lammers doing a really good job of just the temptation. As soon as Steve's in the air and you get your zoning win, right? The temptation to just like run across stage and up air has got to be eating at Lammers constantly. He's got to be thinking like, this is easy. I got it all in the basket. Whenever I finally get this block man blown up, I should be able to just run up and up air him. And he knows that if he does that, he's going to get reversaled into oblivion. So good on Lammers to play with kind of patience and guile to deploy his moves in only the most keen of fashions.
We'll see if the Fates can turn around here in game number 4, if Era can stay in this game, or maybe if the tilt comes in. We are going into it with Lammers up 2-1, only needs one more dub to move on to that top 8 qualifier, and would be very well fought. So we'll see if Era changing up the stage is going to be able to keep this one alive for a game 5.
There's the destruction of the weapon, but of course, where Arasev is trapped, gives him enough time to pull out another steel weapon this time around.
Okay,
oh!
Take that. I believe you dropped this. This belongs to you.
Perfect batted ball there from Era, where he's playing baseball out here. Oh, and he caught by the edge of the molten block, just enough to yo-yo Lammers up and down. Era taking a big lead here in game 4.
You're talking about batted balls. Era's starting to look like earned run average, and that earned run average is going up for Lammers the way that runs got scored there. But Landon caught with the forward smash again. Era just not able to believe his eyes the way that stock ended. We are now sitting at 2 stocks apiece. Does have diamond tools, tons of resources, lots of iron, lots of gold, you name it. All those precious materials are within Era's hands, but got to be able to take advantage of them. So far, Lammers has been doing.
See the dash dash coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a big little change of pace here.
And no punish on that forward smash. And normally you'd expect Steve players to be ready to strike back through those blocks, but they were very focused on just making sure that all those resources are built up, being able to play later into the stocks. But there again, minecart getting stuffed out by those bombs. Such a huge, huge part of Lammers' gameplay.
I mean, taking advantage of that might be the plan for Era, but sometimes you get punched in the face enough in certain situations, you don't feel comfortable going for that option, that safety there. Late there, just not up. That was a very hero ball moment from Lammers, thinking, yes, delayed there. That is what will defeat the minecart. Not quite.
All right, lots of blocks built up here at the ledge. It kind of does force that neutral get up, at least takes the jump off ledge out of the equation. Era getting knocked away by the super missiles. Again, not the super missiles, just missiles. This is not Samus.
I mean,
it's better.
Yeah, better Samus, 100%. Era trying to show how he's better there, but Lammers able to slip past the anvil. That anvil has his name written all over him.
Nice, and using that homing missile just to get in and, you know, again, shut down Era from mining, which can be very important. It feels like Lammers has not been uncomfortable with the idea of Era playing with a lot of resources. It's just been like, okay, as long as I'm not risking my life with anything here, definitely seems like the way to go for him. Lots of iron blocks being used to get some more mining in, but Meat Gunner has tools to deal with that. Hold on a second.
Almost an up smash situation there. You have to wonder if Lammers recognized maybe the height of the plat would have been enough for him to pressure through it, or he just didn't want to risk it. Missile to the face, and there we go! Excellent job there by Lammers to take the stock. Well, percentagely here, it might be just a short stay in the lead. Nevertheless, he forced himself to mid-range. And here we go, right back at it, where these two are comfortable, except for when Era decides to bust on through with the speed of the minecart and take that second stock. Last stock situation here, and this is Era's tournament stock if he's not too careful.
Definitely trying to send this to a game 5. Feeling the pressure a lot. If you've been taking note of that, that player cam, right? We've been seeing a lot of, you know, for lack of a better word, a lot of emotional investment into this game, right? Dropping the combos, though, not able to completely pick it up, so some damage left on the table right there. Lammers will turn this into a juggle. Nice drag down with the up air. Some stylish combos coming out.
And he'd been holding on to that one the entire set. Because, you know, he thought maybe this is a chance. Maybe the chance that Era might be just not looking for it. And here we go. Putting himself at the ledge. Another bomb explosion. Era has to be careful because his chances of staying in this one are slowly disintegrating, or slowly coming apart, as Lammers just keeps whittling away at his life.
You have to worry about the strong missiles being able to take a stock here, especially if they hit anywhere near the ledge. Lammers maneuvering around the back air, and a back air of his own is able to take it. And the Era